Welcome to KAM's Podcast, where we ignite the flames of leadership and empower the youth to embrace their rightful position of dominance. Our vision is to inspire a new generation of leaders grounded in biblical principles, equipped to conquer the challenges of our time. Through engaging discussions, interviews, and thought-provoking insights, join us as we embark on a journey to empower the youth, harness their strengths, and embrace their calling as leaders. Together, let us pave a way for a future where the principles of dominion, compassion, and righteousness reign supreme. This is our vision. This is our mission. This is Kingdom Ambassadors Movement Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another banger episode brought to you by our podcast, Kingdom Ambassadors Movement. I am your host, Sabila. And in the background today, the ghost lady herself today, Madam President. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, Dibson. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. So how's it sitting in the background, mind you?
Oh,
the camera.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I love it.
Yeah, okay. Today we have a very special guest. Still continue to get to know our executives. Today is none other than Mr. Sambo himself. Handsome Ghost. How are you, Menier?
I am good, my brother. Thank you so much for having me in the light today.
In the light today.
Yeah.
If you get to finally see the ghost, rather than the man ghost.
Yeah. I am the ghost. I am Sambo Terry on my socials.
Yeah.
And then I am happy to be the ghost here at the Kingdom Ambassadors Podcast. And then otherwise today I feel like it's a different environment. You know, when you're that side, there's no nervousness.
Yeah.
You can just
because you're off camera, no?
Exactly. So today you have to mind what you say. People have to see you that no, this is the guy.
Yeah.
We wanna see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kanti, the whole point of the ghost, isn't it that you are not known for sure? Marwana ghost is like
I don't know, but I think I'm appearing in the camera today because I'm within the executive of KAM. So somewhere, somehow, I am dragged in because I don't have a choice. I do not have a choice.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm happy to be here.
Handsome Ghost? Why Handsome Ghost?
Am I not handsome? No, my brother. Let me not even emphasize. People that told me, I said thank you.
Yeah.
So I just carried on with it. It's not like I'm rubbing it. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just told. And then I said thank you.
You carry it with
you. Exactly. Thank you. Let's just put it in that scenario.
Okay, no problem, my brother. Kingdom Ambassadors Movement, you know, we've had previous episodes where everybody have shared their vision. What is Kingdom Ambassadors? What does it mean for themselves? So why do you think KAM is born at this specific time? That it stand a chance to compete or to be competitive in this space or economic or political space, I can say, of today?
Hey, my brother, KAM, I can say, even before it was born, I myself and the rest of my friends were skeptical about it. But learning about the idea, the vision of Madam President herself, I then believed that it's something that can happen. But however, I still had that limitation in my mind that how can you bring God into politics? You know, because in South Africa, politics and God, you know, is not mixed sure.
Yeah.
But I tell you, there was a time when I was at Metsima Hulu Library. I bumped into the book. It's just unfortunate I forgot the title of the book now. This book speaks about why the song Sangena lapho kuthiwa saphuma lapho kuthiwa ongene khona akaphumi. It was pretty much referring to apartheid, of which many South African leaders that went to exile or that survived apartheid, that survived being imprisoned, they were able to break through that because of the church. They were able to hide in churches. The churches were able to send them into missions to go preach outside even though they were not preachers. Of which many people were believers back then. And they were able to conquer apartheid because of being Christianity and to be able to pray, to be able to hope, to be able to believe. Hence, that song makes a lot of sense. And today, when I'm looking at KAM, I'm like, You know, this is what God wants us to do. If a vision is born, it means that God says that go carry this thing. My people need this.
Yeah.
As our president emphasizes that, let's just go lay the foundation. It is not for us. God knows where we are going. And myself, I really like to be part of small initiatives, not because I've seen what other parties do, but I like this because it aligns with what I believe with Christian values. And going out to communities, people are still questioning that, guys, what are you doing? But there's people that says, guys, you know what, we love what you are doing. We need a party like you. We need people like you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people still go to church to be prayed for. People still go to church for guidance. But why not politics? Why not church and the politics? Why can't politics be facilitated or ran within kingdom principles, within godly principles? I believe that is where our foundation is. And as long as we bring God into this thing, we do stand a change. I understand that politics are very competitive, but we are not coming there for competition. We are just here to show people that we can work. We are just here to show people that we are ready, whatever, or somehow we are here to work, but we are guided by the principles of God. We just want to do right by people and doing the mission for God.
Well, you know, when you mentioned that politics, working within the parameters or within the guidelines of God's commandment, I can say, you know, our very own and biggest political party started in church, actually.
Exactly.
That's where it began.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe them, because it started with them, maybe they transition away from doing things within the guidelines and the parameters of God's values or God's kingdom. I think they are the one who kind of broke away from that transition.
Yes.
And manje, those who are coming behind them, they are also following suit of what
I
they're
think
doing.
the reason behind it, there's a lot of there's just a deviation from loyalty and being loyal and being accountable. It is very easy to hold anybody that is following the principle of God accountable. But anybody that says I'm a politician and I'm playing the politician games and I don't involve the church, it's very easy to like, no, it's the game.
They get together with a lot.
That's how it
They
is.
get together with
But
a
when
lot.
you drag God into this thing and you are saying, God, carry us, next thing, it is not going to be received well when people see you doing otherwise. But at the end of the day, you call yourself, no, I'm leading the children of God. I think that is the case.
Okay. So for someone, you know, who has no idea about what is KAM and they're looking to join, how do they do that? You know, does KAM go out and identify individuals, or do those individuals, you know, rise themselves up, you know, and then, you know what, there is another kingdom ambassador?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, you know. People might think, KAM is for Christians, you know. It's a bit tricky, but what we are trying to do to establish, my brother, as our president emphasizes, that we want people to learn about us, people to see us. We want people to track what we've done so far. We want people to see how hungry we are to work for communities, to develop communities. We want people to see the small initiatives that we are doing. People to realize that, you know what, let us try these people, let us give them a chance. We don't want to come with regalias of KAM, go to communities and just give them t-shirts and say we are KAM. No, we want to identify small problems that are solvable, learn from that. And as we are learning, I believe the more we help people, people realize and see us, people spread the word about us, people emphasize about us, people share us on social media. And to also say how we are getting membership. The people that we have so far, we've approached them. We've told them about KAM. We just emphasize on people that, can you please try us? You know, this is what we are here to do, this is what we intend. Some of the people, they're just like us. Some people, they say, you know what, I'm part of this part. I would like to join, but I'm part of this part. I cannot be even seen with you, you know, on that t-shirt. You know, I understand right now we are still a movement, but it's good to declare that we are going there for the big run, you see. But I can tell that people like it.
They like it.
It's just that they've got entanglements with you know how it is. Because I tell you, my brother, we are working. We are working, my brother. We are working. Our executive, when they come here, they are talking about Neotech programs. They are talking about metric programs. I'm telling you, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
There's still a lot more coming.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that we are doing,
Yeah,
and we are not
always
ashamed. Not at all. We are not ashamed.
Okay. So, in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time, is KAM still what it is today? Couple, will we see KAM transitioning into something maybe different? Maybe they are more couple what they believe in, couple what they stand in, you know? Because it's very, very important to keep truth, I can say, about to stand true to where you are, from where the foundation started, from where the roots are, you know. So where does KAM lie in 5 years' time or 10 years for you?
You see, I can say that this year, 2024, we are in our first 5 years, because right now we are striving so much to go into the 2026 elections. So that is our 5 years. So we are fighting so much to put our foot in India.
Just in there.
Exactly. So as long as we're there and we are set up, I believe we're gonna be looking at other means, looking at other challenges. But right now, we want to be recognized. We are fighting for that recognition, and we don't only fight because we just want to be there within the political space, but we want people to see that we deserve it. You understand? So I believe after that 5 years, when we are established, it's going to be a time whereby just as the party is going to have, the movement is going to have a training program, that's when the party is going to be, it's going to be important that we place people in other communities so that they begin to develop other communities, so that we begin to grow. I believe by then we would have a nice and well-stable settled office where calls are directed, calls come in and out, whereby even ourselves are delegated to go to other communities. So for now, I believe within these first 5 years, it's important for KAM to be well set.
Yeah.
For KAM to be well organized.
Setting the foundation.
You understand? Like this other day, somebody asked me that, this thing of yours, guys, la habis, I got a t-shirt. I know, but they're very nice.
Yeah,
they are very nice.
Color, you know?
Yeah, he's like, so can I get a t-shirt and wait? And no, you can get it. You are an ambassador.
Yeah.
You are helping us to be there, you know?
Yes.
So within this first 5 years, my brother, I don't want to lie. It is not easy, but we are going for it. It is not easy, which I believe in the next coming 5 years, after these 5 years, it will be much easier because we'll be established. It will be a matter of maintaining what we've started and improving from what we've started.
And you know, Debza, it's so wonderful to just hear somebody else articulate the vision, you know? Yeah, no. This young man has been listening.
Yes, not the memo, you know.
I've been hearing. I'm the ghost. Yeah.
But particularly, I want to touch on what is your role in KAM? When I click it, what are you doing in KAM specifically? The ghost himself.
Yeah. Okay, first and first, I'm a ghost. Okay, apart from that, I review information in KAM. I review information that has to go outside KAM. I review anything, any document that is written that has to go outside KAM. I review pretty much contracts. I review KAM policies.
Yeah.
Okay, I am there. I am the paperwork.
Yeah.
KAM.
KAM
as a secretary, but within that document completed and everything, I review documents, the correctness of documents, if we are somehow implicated or not. So I can say that I'm within politics and within information management. Yes.
So, as outside Kingdom Ambassadors movement,
yes.
Aside being part of this big movement that we are on, aside being Handsome Ghost, who is Terry Sambo? What was Terry Sambo's upbringing like? How was Terry Sambo navigating his childhood?
Yeah, that one, yeah. That one, yeah. You know, I don't know where to start. But however, Terry is like, I love God. I'm a church goer. You know, I do not see myself if God is not involved. You see, so in my upbringing, I grew up within two families, my dad's side, my mother's side. So both my grannies are still alive.
No.
I love them. So I always had to split myself within my mother's side, my granny's side, you know. And then you know, be like, oh, now you are going to your granny. Yes, I'm going, you see. And then, but I grew up, I understood how it is, you know. I understood how it is, but I love the fact that my grannies are able to share us, you know, me and my brother. They are able to share us, they understand. But full time I was staying at my mother's side. I would only go to my father's side during school holidays. But however, it's not far from my mother's side. I would go anytime, whenever.
Yeah.
So my granny from my father's side, Kimuto Aizan the fat cake.
Oh, Magwinya.
Yeah, Magwinya.
Yes.
In the morning, you know, in a less kafti.
Yes.
And then my brother, it's so difficult when my granny from my mother's side makes me breakfast and gets you away. So I have to eat it.
Yeah.
You know? And then when I get to that side, makunya emates. So I know you know, so it has been a blessing like that. That you know what, whether we like it or not, it's important to balance the love that you get from your family and the way that you reciprocate it. So unfortunately, my grandmother from my mother's side, she used to attend IPC, so they would go with transport there. So usually their transport would be packed, but I was like, anyway, Kena does it see. So Becky Kena does it see.
Really?
Yeah, I'm from there.
What's the sharpest step?
Did you have the shoes?
Yes. Plus uniform.
Did you get your point?
Okay, you know, it's just unfortunate that we sang a lot of Sotho songs.
No.
Okay.
And most of the songs, I understand them now. What they made sense, what they were saying exactly, and I understood them pretty much the most when I got here in the visit. Guys, yo, and trying to give me more. I see on, but I loved it. I loved it because you know there, it's a pretty much practical church. You have to bring your books in the beginning of the year for them to go pray for your books. If I don't perform well, my granny is like,
I want that book.
Take your books there.
Wow.
If you're buying your shoes, take them there. You know?
New shoes. Everything.
I swear. The book, you have to take them there. And then, okay, I was gonna be baptized when I was 16 years, but unfortunately, I dropped out. I dropped out.
So do we say fortunately or unfortunately?
Yeah, I dropped out. I dropped
So you
out.
drop out from there. When they look at you, you drop out. Yeah.
I'm a dropout. That conversation took place between me and my grandmother. I told her, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Oh man, it must not have been easy.
She was not okay about it. She was not okay about it because there at church she saw me, she sees me. Every time when I'm there, she's like, okay, you are safe, I can see you. I know that you're going to change. She was like, no, if you are taking this decision for yourself, it is fine, as long as you are going to church. You see?
But if I may ask, what made you leave? What made you come to that decision of saying, I'm leaving?
You see that one, I went to a school, Nekitsa Makabas. So, You know how it is like in a bus. What a room.
Yeah.
So in the bus, there's this lady. Someone would start a song, and then people would start preaching. They would preach about Jesus. You know, they would preach about Jesus, so it made an impact. Like, yeah. So I would get this small impact in the bus, and then when I get to school, there's this SCO thing. So I remember between 2012, it's when I was doing my grade 10. You know what? There was a lot of this demonic, devilish attacks at school. People would just
those incidents,
people would just break. People would just break, fall. You know,
have anxiety attacks.
Exactly.
All these things,
And then when those things happen, my brother, you know, there's no time to go fetch your water to shower. It was hectic. It was hectic, my brother. And I remember one time, this teacher said that let us just call the name of Jesus. Fire that. Fire. You know, a product of my former church. I can sharp fire moon. I got one of my eyes. I swear. I sharp fire. And who my class, Lunaba physics, Kubare SCO break. And then when I went there, who told people that did not receive Jesus and all that, I felt the move.
Wow.
I felt the move. I've never had this thing.
Sure.
I want this.
So you never felt it there at the other church?
No, you know, it's no. There's no such. There's just the excitement, the fulfillment of that Kikena. I go to a church. And for the fact that when you're sick, you can get dialo or something for your sickness. And to be honest, the church works, ne? But I got out because I felt the move of Jesus Christ. I was like, I love this thing. I don't have to carry anything portable.
Wow.
I just need the name. So like, I want the name.
The name.
I want the name.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was like, no, Tabaya, but you'll come back. I'm not going back.
Regarding that, you know, more than 10 years later now, how is your relationship with that specific grandma?
No,
is she so understanding now? Is she so supportive? Hey,
No, she's fine. She's fine because even after that, I kept on going to church. That side. She knows that I'm going to church. And on that side, that meaning I tend as a son doing. Yamjela, mine koko, nyathandaza esondweni, nyacula esondweni. Unguta kuthi like why do you go to church early? No, ngesondweni because nyacula, so kufuna ngifike early always. So yeah, I do know. But she's never seen me sing though. But usharp fail.
So when does the singing backbite you? Have you always known that you are capable vocally, or it just came out of nowhere?
Hey, my brother, you know, it's funny. When I go to that church, I was like, I'm interested in singing. Before, the church was called Emmanuel, and then it transitioned. Now we are ECC, Eagles Christian Center. So there, you know what happened? I got there. I loved the team. It was, those guys, they were very, very good. It's just that the team had to break out, people had to relocate because of work and all that. So when I joined, most of the people that I like singing were no longer there. So, but then we continued to be nice, but they were no longer there. But it's fine, I continued. So I can fika, I meaning shy bass. I sing bass. So no, tenor. Tenor. So there was this guy who was very, very good with tenor. We sang I think for a year and a half. Unfortunately, he had to relocate himself, so I was left there alone. And then eventually people kept joining and leaving.
So as a tenor, you and that guy kept a couple when you had to sing bass first and then
no.
What transition?
On the spot.
On the spot, again.
On the spot, sing tenor. So I sang well. So I kept going from there, and then when times goes on, you're interested with the song, and then it just keeps on going. So I believe singing also at church helps me to to keep on loving God, you see. But it doesn't mean I don't love being ministered to by other musicians. Yes.
Okay. So, you mentioned that you found a SEO at school. So, school, how was that alive for you, navigating through primary school, high school, eventually to tertiary level? Educational background, ambitions, any passions beyond what you've studied, exposed to?
You know, I can say that my high school was more flexible than primary school. I remember, okay, my dad died in the year 2000, and then my mother was very young. I think I was 5 years. My mother was very young, she had to move on. So there was a time we went to stay with our stepfather. So that year I failed. So that school, I didn't fail because I think it's a matter of transition in environment, you see. Because I remember after going home to do the very same grade, that year I got serious distinctions. Yeah, because I've seen the work, I know the work, and I understand the pressure that I was getting on the other side. So it's just a matter of coming from a lower quintile school to this A-class school, you understand? So that's why. And then my family dragged it, that's why you were not supposed to go, you see, and all that and all that. But yeah, so unfortunately I had to go back home. So I had a difficulty when I returned back home, that now my friends are doing and then they are aware that I'm coming from an English speaking. So
that can be very much affecting to your self-esteem.
Yeah, you know, but I never cared. Because, you know, when I got back home, I was speaking. You know, I failed, but I'm speaking.
You're speaking.
Yeah, I'm speaking, and you know, when we say, when we want someone who's fluent in class, I'm counted.
Oh,
yeah. No, I was speaking. I swear, I was speaking. I think I failed, but at least I can something. So after that, going to high school, the only challenge I was facing is that every week I have to buy the bus ticket.
You bought the bus ticket?
Yeah.
For transport?
Yeah, for transportation, yes.
Okay.
It was an area away from home. It's more like from here to Vereeniging. Yeah, it was more like that. So the only challenges I had was that I had to be very, very savvy on my money, because I would only get money for a ticket and then a little bit something for eating at school. But it's fine, at school there was a feeding scheme. So that school, it was an FET school, it was starting from grade 10, 11, 12. So I liked it for that. So it was a science school, to be honest. So I liked it for that. So going in that school, my brother, that age, I know, you were getting the respect. Yeah, people would see me with the uniforms and be like, he goes to that one.
When they're like not public transport, but you know what we call a score for? I'm not a score for if you had to buy a ticket.
Score for getting.
Score for bruh.
Like free transport.
No, it's not free transport. Score for getting transport, you know, that you pay every month for your children to be picked up at home.
Staff.
Yes. Not staff. Staffing for dresses again, but for Yabana, that's called off. You know, to get them from home to school, then from school to home. Yes.
It's there, but I was too far. I was too far. It was even better, let us say, if maybe I was staying in the main road, yeah, I would have gotten one. But I'm coming from deep, very, very deep.
So that time, like when you were going through all those challenges, do you think it had prepared you for now, like looking back now in retrospect to say, I went through that? How has that experience helped you now in your life?
You know, bringing also the part failing and going through challenges of being not perfect. I believe it taught me that I need God, because I became an understander the most. Because most of the people I was schooling with, they were moneyed. I don't want to lie.
Okay.
But I found myself friends in which we are just in the same category.
Being friends with them,
You see.
being confident to be around.
Exactly. And then the fact that I was already born again, it helped me to transition pretty much easy. That's when I learned that even no matter whatever challenges that you're facing, it's very easy. It's very easy to navigate life. And there was a time during my finals on my matric, I relocated from home. I went to stay with my friend. Unfortunately, he passed away. His name was Kelvin Gumede. That family received me well because they can see that King Wanamuti. And that relationship never ended.
Wow.
Yeah, whenever I am home, and they still receive me well. And there's a runway of Kelvin.
Yeah.
So when I'm passing by Joburg and I'm saying, I met that guy's, not my biological.
Yeah.
So she understands my challenges, and I believe all of that, it's God. So there was a time, just after matric, I wanted to pretty much go to school so bad, you see. But for some reasons, God called me back. I saved more at the church, served more at the church, applying, and then eventually I broke out, I came to the Free State and I became fine. But I can say that as a child of God, we cry, but there's a way of crying as a child of God.
Yeah.
You cry
with hope.
Yeah,
Yes.
cry
No,
with
you know what?
God.
It's gonna be well.
Yes.
It's gonna be done. It's gonna be alright.
Yes, and I do not have a choice. Apart from other obligations, I don't have a choice. I have to go to church.
Yeah.
And I have to find a church. I have to serve. I believe we are different. Just like Honorable Delani from KZN, he's serving at church. He cannot come here and sit back. And whether you like it or not, God will show you the gap, and God will just say, if you don't serve, no one will serve. So it's like that. So even with me, God knows my challenges, and I've navigated well, and with Him, I've done it.
Okay. So you spoke about coming to the Free State, after high school. So how was that transition like? Brand new area, brand new people. Did you always want to study far away from home? Or was it that okay, chose to school in the Free State? How was that transition?
To be honest, I followed.
When he leads you, follow.
I followed. Yeah, I did not even follow God. Okay. I don't want to lie. I followed my friends. I followed my friends. Yes, I followed my friends. My friends, they got accepted to study at UFs.
Okay.
They got accepted at UF. So I also fought. I tried, but the thing is, I just knew that, okay, we were in Kwakone and Unica, so I stayed there for the first, I think 2-3 months, and then I told my friends, I found myself a college. I want to go do process control there. But okay, bye. You know what I did? I started hiking, man. I learned the road that passes from Bethlehem through hiking.
Sure.
Exactly. It's like I'm a Kwakwa resident. Now I'm hiking to go to Sasso. No, I came from Bumalanga to Kwakwa. Now I'm hiking from Kwakwa to come to Sasso. Yes. So I met some SRC guys there at the college, and I told them I'm from Kwakwa, but I'm not from Kwakwa. I'm from Bumalanga. Please, I need a place to sleep because I want to check what is happening here. But no, come back at this date. When you come back, we will help you to register and everything. So I went back. I stayed there. I think for that coming, I was preparing myself, and then that time came. I came. So I came here. I registered. I found a room. So I went back home. I told my mother that no, this is what I'm gonna do. I told my aunt, and then now I had to travel with my luggage now. So now for the first time, I went to the taxi rank. Because now I have to travel with my luggage. So I went to a taxi rank, I got a taxi. The taxi went to Vereeniging.
Okay.
And then from Vereeniging, that's when I came. But I don't know whether now they have taxis or not. So that's when I ended up in Sasolburg. So when I go to Sasolburg, the first Sunday I came to CFF. This first Sunday I came to CFF. My brother, this church, it was heaven.
Yeah.
It was heaven. I remember there was Brother Peggy then. I loved the press team. I forced my way through. I loved it. It was amazing. I loved it. I was like, the standard here is just, I want to sing myself there. I got in and I just started doing my thing, and I bless God, I'm still, even when I left and came back, I'm still with Him because I still feel that I belong. And somewhere, somehow, things later will come to order. I trust God. When things work out for other people, we still have to continue queuing. We don't lose hope.
That is very much true. So, Toro, I know you, for a brief time, you went to KZN.
Yes.
You were in Sasol, and then you had to go back to KZN. How was life like, man? Because you're pretty much a traveler now from Canada, Sasol, and sometimes
you know that story, my brother. You know, when I got here, I had pretty much the hopes that I would get a leadership maybe from Senmin, Safripol, Sasol itself, or Nitref. So I kept applying. Sometimes I'd go to interviews. Next thing I'm not called. And I told my family that I'm going to an interview. I wrote some tests, I passed. Now I'm going to interview. Now I'm not called. So it frustrated me. It frustrated me. I was like, God,
what is happening?
I know we agreed that I want to be an engineer, but now I want to be an engineer because I want to start my own businesses. And then there was a time at the college I lost the NSFAS there because I had to repeat a whole trimester, so I had to figure out how to pay for myself. So I did that. It happened. Through God will provision. God will provision. So I finished that year. I remember when I finished. Okay, to be honest, you have to be at the college for like 9 months. You have to be there, do your M4, do your M5, do your N6 in 1 year. But hey, my brother. My brother, but it happens. It happens. So I only fought to pass like 3, and then come back to the other one. So there was a time I only passed 1, came back to do 3. That's when there was a challenge, you see. But then provision was there. I was able to come back. To be honest, people give up there. It's very, very difficult to do engineering in a space of 3 months, and you're doing 4 modules. You have maths, science, you've got your measure, you've got 2 measures actually. So it's very, very difficult. But it's not because I moved out to go study business because I'm failing. No, it's fine. I was doing well because when I left, I was only left with 2 subjects of my N6, maths and science. So I was like, no, I'll do them while I'm studying that side. But I just want to prepare myself in case I don't land on engineering. At least I've got a certificate to do with business management, because that is what I want to do at the end of the day. So when I left, when I left, I go to KZN. I only had money for registration.
Hey, you've got faith.
How much was that?
Registration was 4,500.
Sure. So that only goes to food. So you didn't think about any other?
Yes, I only had money for registration.
Oh man.
And one guy, he called me, come here. I went there. I upuma ngathi mina ngiphume eMpumalanga. Wathi wena une NSFAS ngathi angina. I thought, oh, do you know this one? So I was with this other girl. Her name is Ketiwe. Unfortunately, I forgot her name. We met in Kwaku. And then there in KZN, I was like, where are you studying now? She's like, no, now I'm studying in KZN. I'm like, what happened then? Because like, no, I started not liking the course, and then I dropped out because of family issues as well.
Yeah.
So instead of going back to pay my fees, let me just start something fresh. So because of that girl, I know I'm the president here.
Oh.
I know this girl. She's from where I come from. So because hey, I'll find you a place to stay.
Wow. Favor.
And then I stayed at the university without paying a cent for the whole year.
Wow.
I was a squatter, my brother. I was for the whole year. For the whole year. One time this other guy said, I'm gonna leave the room, I'll go stay at my sister's place, you can have my bed. I was like, sure, I'll have your bed.
Sure.
So God was just that good for me. God was just that good for me, and I applied for funding. So that particular year, the following year, I got NSFAS. So I was like, no, I don't want to stay at the campus. I want to go stay outside, private accommodation. So when I did that, I started saving money. So the plan was like, now God, I've got a small income for myself. And then, unfortunately, when I was supposed to have my final year, COVID hit. So when that happens, now I do not know what happens. The school is now, NSFAS introduces this other thing of saying that if you've been to a different school and it's been more than 5 years, you can no longer be funded. And then they've only funded me for a year, you see. And then it became a challenge. It became a challenge because me and my friends decided to start a business, and most of that money that I had saved was just invested in the business. So it became a difficult. Also, when the business itself failed, now I cannot be able to continue. So
what business is that? Like, I want the details. Get into the details. Remember, there's a story there about that business. I want that story.
Okay.
I want that story.
Yeah.
This is you. What you've experienced.
Okay. We rented a pub.
Okay.
The pub was selling food, and it was selling alcohol.
Okay.
And then we had a car wash. So we were also doing sports tournaments there. And then we intended to host off events. So initially, the whole idea was that we could make money with events, but we have to start building up. So we found this place and then spoke to the guy. The guy promised us that, no guys, just try to establish now. And then later on, I'll demarcate the place for you if you do well.
Okay.
So we paid first installment of rent, which was 5,000 rand. We paid for the second time. Now people started to like us. You see. So now there was a challenge of, it's like you are no longer focusing on the events, but you're selling more of the alcohol. You see. And then you are no longer focusing more on the selling food. It's like you are no longer a restaurant. You're focusing more on the side. But then I've realized that people come for that. People come for food.
That's what they pay.
Yeah, people come for food. People come for entertainment. People come for the for the game nights. It was nice. Unfortunately, the guy never ended up demarcating the place, but it was fine because we were making money. So we started getting attacks now. We got dropped the first time. I remember when we got dropped the first time, I was the one in the counter.
Oh, you guys were like, in a sense, you guys were not there. You guys were there.
We were there. We were closing because we were not a tavern.
Not a break-in, but a literal like.
Yeah, because we
were
exactly. They came just before we could close because a guy had booked us that he wants to celebrate a birthday.
Yeah.
So he ordered, I think, a maximum of 10 cocktails, food of some sort. We just served them. We served them. Like at this time we're gonna close, but for you guys, we'll just keep the shop running. Hey. My brother, you know, when that thing happens, you just pray, like you just pray. But for some reasons, I was brave. You know, I tried to lock myself inside the shop. So now they threatened to shoot someone outside or something, or even myself there. I was like,
they were armed.
Yes, they were armed. It was not one guy. It was serious. It was serious. I didn't want to open the shop. I was like, yeah, this is my shop. But then God says I open. So I opened. And then they got inside. They asked for the money. I told them what the money is. And then one guy who opens the fridge, he decides to take a dumpy and break it right in front of my face. And then they start taking the cocktail.
Where are your business partners, man?
My brother, they are outside. They're dealing with them. They're dealing with them. And then, mind you, the following day we have a very, very major event that we've been preparing for.
Yeah.
And then, okay, after they've taken everything, we're like, we still have money. We want to host our event. It was going to be on the 16th of December. We hosted the event. The event was a success. I remember that particular day, there's a parent that came in and said, guys, please do not close, because those kids will go to these road areas. We feel like our kids are safe when they're here. We're like, no, we don't think your kids are safe here. We want to close. Yeah, we ended up closing. And then the kids, they went to the other places. In the morning, the very same parent came to confront us that, guys, the reason why I asked you guys not to close is because we don't know how to control these kids. They want to go to these entertainment places, but it's not safe. We felt like it's safer here because it's an environment that is not a tavern.
Okay.
It was like, no, Tina, we do not operate beyond the jurisdictions of these times. We are just a business that is run like this. Please understand that. So we kept on operating, and then on the 24th of December, this very same thing happened. We got dropped.
Sure.
You know, and now when we got dropped, that's when they took our laptops, they took DJ equipment, like bringing us down, and then.
You think what the very same parents could have been behind Kapo, was it jealous people?
It's, to be honest, it's people that we know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's people that we know, people that we mostly grow up with. And then I don't want to mention names, but yeah, it's people that we know. Yeah, it's just people that we know. And my family then started feeling that, no, you need to stop with this business. And then we spoke amongst one another, and then we just said, no, guys, we have to stop, because initially we wanted to run a good business that is bringing change, that is bringing all this entertainment into the community, but now it is becoming a threat even in our lives. So it became a challenge. I remember one of my friends lost his car because of the debts that were piling, because of what happened there. And then it became a challenge, but then that's when I realized that also God protected us there. Because even within those challenges, remember within COVID, a lot of people were dying because of crime.
Yeah.
We never died. And none of our clients died, not even one. Of course, we lost the business, but we lost the phones. People lost their iPhones. People lost driver's licenses, wallets. I remember one guy lost his car. A client lost his car. His car got taken there. But I'm grateful that no one lost a life. Yeah, I'm grateful no one lost a life. And if you ask me if I want to go back in that environment, I know
You're good.
I'm good.
Wow.
So we've spoken about like education, business. So now, Spunugwas.
Hey.
Why can't this the pop-up question?
You know, I'm asking on behalf of some people. You see, who go to love life.
Okay, love life. Oh my God.
What's up there?
Okay, I have a child. God has blessed
What
me
on
with a
behalf
child.
of
Okay, I just want to put this straight. God has blessed me with a daughter. She was born in 2022.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just unfortunate. She was born at the time. Me and her mother, we were just battling a lot of challenges in our relationship. You see, and one of the reasons why I chose to come back to Free State is because I know how calm it is. I know I have a good church here. I was like, I'm gonna leave everything. I'm gonna go back to Free State because this life is just gonna destroy the potential that I have.
Yeah.
And my family, you know, because there's nothing that you're staying for here. You have to go finish your academia, and then you need to come back and take care of your child. You know, my mother assumed taking care of the child and everything. And I was like, when I go out there, I'm just going to make sure that I continue to develop myself. I do not put myself under pressure, because one thing I'm grateful for is that God understood what we were trying to do with the business. God understood the challenges I went through trying to make myself better and be able to provide for myself. And I'm grateful that even though I do not bring much in the table for my child, my mother is doing that. And sooner or later, God is still going to bring more opportunities for me to take care of my child. So right now in my life I
didn't see.
It's not make sure.
But like in a few years' time, you see yourself getting married, you know, building a family and things like that.
You know, I really hope that getting married, God gives me somebody who knows Him, somebody who fears Him.
Yeah.
Not somebody who's, because you know, I've heard with women it's very easy for them to imitate a certain character that you want, because I do not know whether we make a mistake by saying that and then it's very easy to like,
they tend to do that.
yeah, even for us guys, we know how to bring in the character that you want. Let us not make a mistake by saying they cannot do that. But getting married, I do want to get married. Here at the church, there was a time we spoke of getting married. I was like, I think it's better to get married when you're financially stable. But I was defeated. It's a matter of not financially stable. It's a matter of deciding what you want to do.
Make a decision.
Yeah. So now, let us say there's just the absence of the person.
Oh, alright.
Yes.
Okay.
I know we'll pray. We'll pray.
Thank you so much.
Before we can go, in closing there, what is Terry Sambo up to currently? What kind of legacy? How does Terry wants his little daughter to remember him? What kind of legacy do you want to do for this little girl?
My brother, you see, some way or the other, I remember this one time with the Tate Masua, Mr. Mtlatsi, we went to some, I don't know whether it was a business meeting or some seminar at Gas. I wish to own myself a car wash here in Sasso. I trust my God that it will happen. And also with KAM, I trust God that with KAM, something somehow will get established and I will just see myself doing well. And I also trust God that maybe somehow in the engineering space I can still have something. I've got many eggs that could pop, that could do something, but I'm not going to risk. So you see, with engineering, it works better when you start early.
Yeah.
Because at the later stage, maybe at the age of 30, you've got maybe probably 4 years experience. But I don't want to shy away. Yeah. And I'm just facing the odds, you know. So hence I'm putting more efforts within KAM. And I still trust God that He's going to help me to finish my final duty.
Well, one thing I know, He always redirects, He always reposition, He always redestined you.
Yes.
I've seen it happen in my life, I see it happen in my life.
Yes.
Trust me, you get in there.
So for money purposes, I don't even want to worry about that. God always provides provision. And I'm targeting, and I trust God that I'll find a business and initiative that will run. Sooner or later something will happen, because already the mindset of business, I do have it. I just need to find it and make sure that I apply it right, and the provision for the business, God, I know He will make it happen. That is the legacy I want to give to my daughter, and also to be able to afford good education for my daughter. If I can be able to do that, I will be a very, very happy father. Yes.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is it for us today. We are out of here. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you later.